Ladies and creatures and gentlemen, this is the podcast show for the average Joe, The Wrestling Diaries. I'm your host, Mitchell Roulaine. Check us out on YouTube. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell for more content. Check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for all your streaming needs for podcast show. We have people on from regular society. Not everybody's from regular society. I've had a couple celebrities or high status peeps on here. Probably wouldn't turn anybody down if they wanted to be on the show, as long as they weren't trying to kill us. But mostly the show is supposed to be for just general people in life and the things that they talk, the things they dream about and their struggles, what they wrestle with, right? Check us out on our streams, like us, share us, comment, tell us if we're doing a good job, send us money, gift baskets. Today's Easter. Send us an Easter basket. It might be delayed, but hey, whatever. I got a really good and old-time friend. We've been friends since we were kids, right? Well, teenagers. Mr. Terence Gurganus.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Gurganus. I know what it is. Tell people what your last name is.
It's Gurganus.
Gurganus.
Yeah.
And what is that?
It's Dutch.
Dutch.
My family comes from around the Netherlands. So.
Nice. You speak, what is the language? Is it Dutch that they would speak?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You speak Dutch?
Deutsch. No.
Deutsch. Cool. You happy to be on the show today, man?
Yeah.
Nice.
Been wondering when you'd have me on here.
Yeah. I mean, you could have always asked too. Be like, hey, want to be on your show, bro?
I do work a lot, though.
That's very true. So for people just tuning in or listening to this, Terence is a very awesome musical artist. He's like a musical Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. He puts music together. He plays guitar, keyboard, drums, and he does a lot of things digitally as well. And he writes music and stuff like that. You just did a big single.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be an even bigger single with the lovely Cheyenne Chapman.
That happens to be your fiance.
That is correct. Tell us about that and what was the inspiration for that song you did?
Nothing really. I just kind of started writing and the words just started building and I was like, whoa, okay, this is getting good. So then I played a very Cranberries, like the Cranberries, the band style riff. And I was like, okay, Cheyenne's vocals would sound amazing on this. And it just kind of happened. So
nice.
Here we are.
So we're actually going to play the song on here so people can hear exactly what we're talking about.
Okay.
And hopefully they like it. I think it's super cool because it's really awesome. And here we go. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, after that commercial break. It wasn't a commercial break. That was, what was the name of that song again?
Lost Control.
Lost Control. Hope everybody liked that. It was a really cool video and really awesome song. And you put that all together yourself, by yourself, right?
In my bedroom.
Yeah. Tell people about that. People that might wonder, like, how the hell did he do that?
So my phone has an amazing camera. I don't have like a mirrorless DSLR or anything. So I set it up on a tripod, recorded myself playing the guitar to the song. I wasn't even plugged in, so it wasn't even making sounds. And then later that night, Cheyenne came over to record vocals, and I filmed her singing it and kind of just put the 2 frames in there and put it on YouTube.
Nice. How long have you been doing this exactly, like making music digitally from your computer?
5 years?
Nice.
Maybe 6? 2014? Yeah, 2014. So, okay, so that's 7 years. Right?
So, yeah, definitely. What's all your contribution? Like, obviously, Shine's just did the vocals. You did everything else, right? You wrote the lyrics.
The guitar, the bass. Those are actual instruments. I kind of cheat when it comes to the drums. It's a MIDI keyboard, and I just play the notes on the keyboard. Well, I'm a drummer. First of all, that's my main instrument. I've been playing drums for over 20 years. It was
guitar.
No, I've been playing drums since I was 5, and I'm 34 this year. So
you're more prone to drums, and then guitar's like your secondary, and then what would be your third?
Bass. Yeah, because bass and guitar go hand in hand. So
you play any like blowing instruments? A saxophone or a piccolo?
That's all I got. No, I would love to play sax. Like, honestly, it would be awesome.
Play sax when someone's having sex.
Sexy.
They do say that. What is it? There was a poll, and like saxophone was the #1 musical instrument for like romance and sex and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I guess I could see that.
Kenny G, baby.
Kenny G. I don't know what song that is, but
I don't either.
So why do you like music? How long have you been into music? What appealed to you about music? Tell that origin story, sir.
Funny story. This is probably why there's a lot wrong with me, but my mother used to sing Enter Sandman to me when I was just a wee little baby.
Like, it's funny because that song's kind of set up like a nursery rhyme, sort of.
Yeah.
Say your prayers, little one.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. If I go to a therapist, that would be the first thing he would
So
notice.
how old would you have been when she was singing this to you?
A baby. Like,
baby.
Goo goo gaga, baby.
Jeez, that's hilarious and really cool. So your mom is like obviously like a metalhead rock chick.
Mm-hmm. You knew her.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know all this stuff, but I'm asking you for the audience's sake, dude.
Right. You're right.
So, anyways, continue on. So that happened, and then what does the rest of it look like? Getting into music.
I was growing up. I was always had the 2 wooden spoons and pots and pans laid out on the ground, and playing drums with them and annoying the crap out of my mother when I was like 4 and 5. And then on my 5th birthday, my mom got me a real set of drums and my first lessons.
Oh, wow.
That's the only lessons I had. It was like 3 or 4 just little lessons, and it just came naturally. So I just went from there.
What kind of kit was it that she got you? Or was it just like a little kid's toy drum set or something?
I guess my whole family is very musically inclined. My dad could sing bass. My mom could sing tenor.
Daddy sang bass. Mama sang tenor.
My whole, I have cousins and my aunt and uncle, they actually went to Branson, Missouri and recorded a bluegrass album. So,
oh, wow.
This was years ago. That's like 20 years ago.
The years I've known you, I actually did not know like half of the information you just divulged just now. Did not know that. Bluegrass, that's awesome. Are they still doing that stuff now?
No, sadly, my aunt passed away, and the cousins they are all older and have kids and stuff, so they all moved away.
Are you the only person left in, I guess, your intermediate family that actively is still pursuing and doing and creating music?
My cousins, we grew up in church bands together, and they still do that. Like my cousin Jesse, he's plays guitar in a church band, and my cousin Terry plays bass in a church band, and 2 separate bands, but they all kind of do their own thing like that. So
interesting.
Yep.
So going back to when you're a little kid, your mom, she bought you the drum set, and then you got your lessons and stuff. And then what happens from there? Like, what evolves from there? When did you pick up the guitar, and when did you start like taking it more serious?
Guitar, I was 14.
Oh wow! So a little while later.
Yeah, I was in 10th grade, I believe, and just kind of went with it. Dad bought me like a little, when DVDs were cool, bought me a DVD that showed you how to play chords and stuff, and just kind of went from there. And I learned chord progressions. I never learned like music theory or anything like that. Never learned how to read sheet music or anything like that. I just play by ear. And
Yeah, it's funny too. So we had another guest on who's a friend of mine, Josh Green. Shout out Josh, if you see this episode, you should. I'll tag you or something. But we were talking about, because he doesn't really play sheet music. He just listens to it, or I guess reads tablature or something. But I was telling him about you, and I was like, yeah, Terrence plays everything by ear, essentially. Mostly anyway. He hears it, he hears the tune, or he just kind of creates it in his head. And I was explaining to him what you explained to me once upon a time about how when you're like, for guitar, for example, it's almost like you're playing Guitar Hero, but like there's like colors or shapes attached to the notes.
Yeah, synesthesia.
Synesthesia. Okay, so then Joshua was right, because he said, I think what your friend does, I think the technical term for that is synesthesia. He's like, I'm not completely sure. And I was like, oh, look it up. I never looked it up. But
well, synesthesia is seeing music in colors. I see music in shapes.
Okay.
I don't know if that's synesthesia.
Well, it seems like it's still a form of it.
Probably. Yeah. But
it's like a PlayStation remote.
And it's not like
all the triangles.
Well, actually, I don't see it in traditional shapes like triangle or circle.
Well, what shapes do you see?
I don't know. Like in my head, I see a shape when I think of a chord, and it's like, oh, okay,
that, and then all the notes are like, oh, that's that shape.
Yeah, and then
that's
like
so
when
weird,
you have like your chord progressions that fall on the same scale, those shapes line up with each other, and it creates like a pattern. I don't know.
He's lying to you. What he sees is the waveforms. He's seeing sound.
He's seeing sound.
Just comes out of his mouth and makes waveforms.
Yeah, this guy's a weirdo, man.
I mean, you might be right. I've never thought of it as just the waveforms. Yeah, it's like you're.
That's interesting.
It could be.
It's a very, very interesting concept. Well, anyways, Joshua Green, if you listen to this, hopefully this gives you a little bit more information about the synesthesia thing. I don't know if this plays out. That's very interesting. And so, is that just with guitar, or is that with all of it? With drums, with keyboard,
so
bass?
In my head, guitar and bass go hand in hand, and I know there are a lot of people that are going to give me crap for that. But I learned how to play bass because when you're playing guitar, the lowest string is always the bass note.
Yeah.
Typically, the lowest string is the bass note, and that's the same position on the lowest string of the bass that you play. So they just kind of go hand in hand in my head.
Yeah.
So,
wasn't it a time when you and me were doing our band stuff and you were recording it on your computer? Didn't you use your guitar and you like tuned it weird to make it sound more like a bass? I don't remember. It was something like
I played the bass line on the guitar and octave dropped it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So it sounded horrible, but it's all I had.
I mean, we were like teenagers.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's really cool, dude. Would you say like music's probably your favorite thing just in life in general?
Yeah.
Like your number one thing?
Not to be a downer, but without music, I probably wouldn't be here.
Wow. I believe that too. It's Giorgio, our mutual friend Giorgio was on here, and he talked about how, he felt like music saved his life. I think I've actually had a couple of musician type people on here that I think have said the same thing. The music saved their life. So yeah, it's a powerful thing, man. My friend Emma Barati from London, she's an opera singer, and she made the statement that she said she would argue and say that music is the greatest art form, the number one art form that human beings gave to this planet. And I was like, that's a good argument. I don't know if I agree, but I definitely don't disagree. It's definitely a really good argument.
Well, I mean, it's a powerful thing. You have people with like amnesia and stuff like that, Alzheimer's, not amnesia, but Alzheimer's, that can remember stuff when they hear certain songs. Like you could talk to them and they not know who you are, but they hear a certain song and they just light up.
Yeah, because it doesn't. Weren't we talking about this? It like activates a different part of the brain or something. It channels some part of the brain that isn't always used until you hear music, musical notation and sound and all that.
Yep.
That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. So I don't know where to go from here. I guess that's it. That's the show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Bye. Oh man. So you and me have been friends for how long now?
I was 16 when we met because it was it was a friend of ours' birthday. I think his name was Bobby.
Bobby, yeah. I remember that. Yeah,
but I was 16.
Is that the first time I met you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you played the birthday theme song on the guitar, but you like shredded it. It's like really good.
I can't shred.
Which, speaking of, you're going to play guitar for us before the show's out at the end of the show, right? Show us your chops.
Okay, not chops, but more of like what inspires me is what I thought I would do.
Okay, yeah, he's going to super shred.
No, I'm not Van Halen. Or,
Matt, he's a super shredder. In fact, put a picture of Super Shredder right above his head, right there. Boop.
I got to watch out for the Ninja Turtles now.
Oh man, would you say you would like to do music as a profession, or is it something you just do as a hobby? Like, what does that look like for you?
I would like to see my music go somewhere, but I would also like to be like a studio engineer or something. Still doing something with music, but not necessarily my music. You know, being a studio engineer, I have like, great passion for recording and learning new stuffs with the learning new stuffs, learning new things.
A lot of bass stuff.
Yeah, learning new things with the, just the interfaces and stuff that come out for computers.
And that's the next thing I wanted to talk to you about. That's just like kind of your second love, right? Tech stuff. You're a huge tech geek. You're techie.
Well,
kind of like Matt here. You're like a different version of Matt. Like the tech stuff.
I'm not trying to shout out my YouTube, but the video we just watched was on my YouTube because I don't have like a specific YouTube for that band.
Unless, of course, you're listening to this on one of the audio streams. Then it was from Spotify.
Oh, no. Well, okay. Yeah. But
if you're watching it on YouTube, it was on YouTube. If you're listening to it, it's from Spotify.
Yeah.
Either way.
My social media name is Zombie Geek. So, I mean, there's meaning in that.
Explain to people what that means.
Well, when The Walking Dead came out, I was a huge zombie fan.
You rode the zombie craze wave that passed through
Big
for
time.
A couple of years.
Quick funny story. When I was living with my dad, our city got hit by a tornado, and like the power just went out for like a week, and all I did was read zombie books.
What zombie books were you reading?
The Zombie Survival Guide.
Okay, that's a really good one.
The Zombie Combat Manual, which is basically a companion book.
Yeah. It's written by the same author that did World War Z, I'm sure.
The Zombie Survival Guide is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The survival.
But yeah, stuff like that. And there was like one that was called like The History of Zombies and stuff like that. And then the geek kind of goes hand in hand with my love of tech and comics and that stuff.
You, I guess it's safe to say that zombies are your favorite monster, like supernatural
Not
thing.
anymore.
No?
No.
What is it now?
I don't know.
Oh, not vampires.
I just kind of know. I guess you could say zombies are my favorite, but I'm not like obsessed with them anymore.
Yeah, but then what do you? So you're not. But then what do you do one day when you're like super big and like, and they're like, oh, zombie geek, he's a big zombie fan, and then you're like, oh no, I'm not. Even though like my picture is a zombie version of me, and
it really is
zombie geek.
It's like me zombified wearing a gaming headset.
That's
Which
perfect.
I have a change in the works on that. So.
Actually, that would make a really cool T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being honest, like on black T-shirt, and then it's like a kind of a green, right? Kind of stand out, so you could be more neon on the shirt. Yeah, that'd be an awesome T-shirt, dude. Seriously, like I can see the font on a black T-shirt right now. Probably wouldn't look as good as like a white T-shirt or something. I mean, it didn't matter. You could just do a bunch of different merchandise. Have a coffee cup. It's like a coffee cup of zombie geek.
But first, it's my face, and as it heats up, it turns into a zombie.
Dude, now that would be sick. I mean, you could charge extra for that one.
Yeah.
A novelty cup.
$20 extra.
So what's your what's your affinity for the tech world? How did you get into that? Where did that start? Where did that pan from? What was your interest? I'm assuming you probably grew up playing video games. Maybe that's where it started.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, 2004, I started hanging out with an old friend of mine. His name is Jared Anders. And
the guy whose wife looks like Cameron Diaz?
Yes.
Shout out, dude.
Yeah.
Good job. Real quick, not to interrupt you, but my and Matt's mutual friend, English Madden, his cousins are Benji and Joel Madden from Good Charlotte, right?
Okay, yeah.
Benji is married to the actual Cameron Diaz in real life. And if you go to their dad's Facebook page, there's the cover photo is him, with his arm around Cameron Diaz and his nephew Benji, and then like some other gentleman, maybe his dad or something. Benji's dad. And so, anyways, I just wanted to put that little footnote in there. So you have a cousin, or is it your friend?
Just a friend,
who has a wife that looks like Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
And then we have a friend who is his cousin-in-law, or would it be cousin-in-law is Cameron Diaz. Boom. There you go. Anyways, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Great connection. Anyway, he's always been like, when he was like 8 and 9, he was opening different programs on PCs and blowing them up pretty much because he was clicking the wrong things.
Mm-hmm.
So he always like grew up. He's in IT. He's always been like the city IT guy. And I thought it was kind of cool, and I just learned the ways.
Nice.
Now I build my own computer and set up my own setup. So then you're attributing your love for the tech world to your friend Jared then, mate. He basically kind of just got you in there. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
But now, music and computers go hand in hand because all the tech is built into the computer. So,
yeah,
I kind of do both at once.
Yeah. So obviously that happening just had to have been just a delicious like ice cream sundae for you. Right, because it's two things you really love, and then you're like, oh, now they're like intertwined. They're one.
Can it be a Neapolitan ice cream sundae?
Sure.
Cool. Okay.
Whatever you want, man. When I was a little kid, I used to think that was called Napoleon because I couldn't read right, or I couldn't read that correctly. And I was like, oh, yeah, I like the Neapolitan ice cream. Like, and they're like, wait, what did you say? Neapolitan. That's not what it's called. Neapolitan. I was like, oh no. They're like, yeah, like they should make an ice cream like that now. Spoof it. Napoleon Bonaparte ice cream.
It's got parts of bones in it.
Yeah, bones in there and blood from his enemies. Oh my gosh. So tell everybody about like what kind of setup you have now, like computer wise, for any of these other tech geeks listening to this. What are you working with?
Okay. Well, I'm one of the lucky few that actually got his hands on the new Ryzen 5000 series and the Ryzen 6000 series graphics cards. Now they're like quadruple the price, and you can't find them in stock. I've got a 34-inch ultra-wide monitor, 1440p resolution, and I've got a 1080p portrait monitor to the side, so they look like this. And then I've got my keyboard. I got like a pull-out drawer on my desk that's got my keyboard piano on it. So it's all just right there if I need to use it. And I got my interface. I got a 50-inch TV on the wall beside me that runs the computer, or runs from the computer too. So technically I have 3 monitors.
Whoa.
Yes, I'm a nerd. So
Jeez.
it's okay.
Do you understand anything he just said, Matt? Because I don't.
Yep, I know that he paid a lot of money for it.
Too much.
That's all you know.
Yeah. Too much.
Yeah, Matt also, for people listening, Matt's the behind-the-scenes guy, the guy that handles all the tech stuff for the podcast here. He's a tech geek also. You've probably heard about it. So him having Terence on the show today, they've just both got huge, just super huge fat boners right now.
Fat 32 boners.
Fat 32 boners.
That's
so much tech around here. There's so much.
I feel like I've already got brain cancer right now, just sitting in this studio. It's terrible.
But here's what I have to do to this studio, even during the winter. I got to close the vent in here and turn an AC on.
Like, because of the heat.
So much electronics in it heats the room up like badly.
Yep.
Yeah, I walk out of here and I'm like a jitter sometimes from the electricity.
Yeah, no, it's like my setup. It's like a 10-degree difference from the outside. Like when I walk out of my room, there's like a 10-degree drop. Insane.
In all seriousness, though, I mean, do you think there would be health concerns about that? Either one of y'all look into that? Now they're getting quiet. What's going on here?
I mean, we got to die somehow, right?
These guys are mutating me. I'm having an arm growing out of my ass. Oh no, my tumor's got cancer. Oh my gosh, it's so hilarious. So what else do you do for fun, dude? Besides music, tech geek stuff, what else you got?
Other than that, honestly, I just, I'm considered an essential worker because I deliver pizza. So,
Do you ever get tempted to eat someone's pizza when you're delivering it?
Lactose intolerance is not funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you get people that are lactose intolerant that are getting pizza and there's no cheese on it, so
Yes.
it's just the sauce and a bunch of other on top of it?
Yes. And you have to be careful because if they get a thin crust, it just kind of runs off of it. Like, because there's no cheese. There's no cheese to hold it together. So, like,
Visualizing this now is super terrible.
don't slam on your brakes because all the ingredients go to one side of the box.
There's just a big clump of sauce and whatever they had toppings on there.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd be so pissed. But then also, I probably wouldn't eat a pizza like that. The cheese keeps everything on top. Maybe you guys should just put another layer of crust over the top.
That's a calzone.
Oh, well, there you go. Calzone. Oh man, that's so funny. Lactose intolerant. That sucks, dude.
Yep.
Sucks.
That didn't happen until I turned 31.
Mm.
So 3 years ago. Like, I
Wow.
was a lover of milk and my body was like, no more.
Wow.
It doesn't stop me from drinking it.
Maybe
but
you know what though. Also, you might have already just had like some kind of dairy allergy prior,
yeah.
and your body compensated for so long, and then as you got older, it was feeling like, okay, this is overkill now.
Yeah.
We can't compensate more or
Right.
something. Who knows? I don't know. You have to go get like blood work done to really find out about that now.
I'd just rather enjoy ice cream and, milk if I need it.
Yeah.
Although almond milk is pretty good.
You can take you take lactate, don't you? The thing that like
Not
helps it.
anymore.
You don't take it anymore?
No, I lost the bottle.
Okay. Well, you got to get
Yeah.
another one, man.
Nah, it's all right.
Take a couple hits and then start eating,
Usually if
cheese
I'm going
sandwich.
to eat cheese or, drink milk or whatever, I do it on my the night before my off day. So I have time to go to the bathroom.
So for anybody listening to this, they're like, what is lactose intolerance? I never knew what
right.
that was. Explain that.
So your body doesn't have the ability to break down the lactose protein, or I think it's called lactate protein, in dairy products. So milk, cheese, ice cream, even stuff like Snickers candy bar. The smallest amount of any of that, it just sends your body into like pain. It can be gut wrenching sometimes, and the bathroom breaks are not short. So,
Yeah.
and they're not solid.
Yeah. Listen
So,
to him, ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen. He is not you.
No, I am. It's just in my pants.
Oh my God. This is hilarious. If he ended up dying from all of that dairy intake and he's such a nerdy guy and he came back, he'd be a zombie geek. How about that?
Oh yes.
Bump. When I like do these stupid corny jokes, Matt, when you start putting that in there, you can put like a sound bite in there. That'd be hilarious. Ooh. So you live here in the Birmingham area, right?
Yep. Moved down in 2015.
Now you originally you were living out in the Coleman area, that area of Alabama for a while, right?
Yeah.
What's your compare and contrast to that to Birmingham? What do you like more?
I didn't
What are your
fit in.
takeaways?
I
Pros,
didn't
cons?
fit in
What do you mean?
Coleman at all.
I've seen
I don't want to
some
shame people.
I've seen some like nerdy rocker
There are.
metalhead people there though,
There
or
are.
eccentric artistic people.
But typically it's, very country people.
Yeah,
which
Southern.
the majority of my family are very country, very Southern.
Yeah.
I try not to be, but it still slips out. Sometimes you catch them talking like this right now and be like, hey, boys and girls.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember like knowing you for like when we really started getting acquainted with each other and stuff, and I was like met some of your other family members, and I was like, what? You were absolutely the brown egg.
Yeah, you remember
And a
seeing
carton of-
the bank that was in a mobile home?
Yes.
This is no joke. There was a bank on the side of the road. Well, as a bank is on the side of the road in a mobile home.
Yeah. The
You
bank.
walk up to it, go inside, and you make a deposit.
Yeah, it was a single wide. It was
Yeah.
a single wide trailer.
It was parked
That
next
was
to
the
a
bank.
Piggly Wiggly.
What was that? Addison?
Jones Chapel.
Joe's Chapel.
Yep.
Joe's Chapel Bank. That was the town's bank. It was a single wide trailer. Yeah.
Next to the Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, me and my ex used to come and pick him up, and we would just drive through there and it would make all kinds of terrible jokes. I feel like sometimes it kind of like made you feel some kind of way. I was like, oh man, I feel like Leatherface is about to come out of the woods with a chainsaw.
Well, no, you're
try to
literally driving like 30 minutes just in the woods to get to my little hometown of Addison.
Yeah, you just hear a banjo start playing, and then it gets dark. It's crescendos, like you're about to die.
The lack of light pollution during like meteor showers is kind of nice.
Yeah, that actually, being out in a place like that as well. Our mutual friend Zach, he lives out in a place like that, similar in Mississippi. and there is no, like, it's way out there in the country.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, it's like I've never seen stars like that before. And I know that's not even the greatest place to see stars, but yeah, no light pollution is crazy. You're almost like, oh my gosh, I didn't know the sky looked like this.
Yeah,
It's wild to, see how artificial light filters out all that heavenly glory. But yeah, cool. So glad you could be on the show, man.
Yeah,
it's always really fun to get old friends, close friends of mine on the show.
We've known each other for 18 years.
Holy crap.
18 years.
Jeez Louise. That's too long, man.
All right, I'm out.
I'm kidding. He's out. So, Mr. Terence Gurganus, what's your middle name?
James.
James.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever really knew that. Maybe you've said it through the years and I just forgot.
Yeah.
Terence James.
You probably heard my name yet, or be yelled at
Gurganus.
me by my mom.
Yeah, probably.
Terence James.
Yeah. Terence James. She's like beating you up.
No.
So, my friend, what are the things that you wrestle with in life?
Oh, we're getting hard and heavy now, right?
Yeah, this is part of the show where we get a little deep.
The
Doesn't have to be
Wrestling
deep.
Diaries, yeah.
I had people answer these questions and they didn't give deep answers. Somebody was like, "Oh, I wrestle. Like my biggest thing I wrestle with is my scheduling. I don't like schedule things right. I mean, and that probably is something they're wrestling with. I guess the general consensus of this question though is takes it more deeper.
Right.
Like, what are people really, wrestling with?
Right.
And this individual, maybe they just don't know.
I live a pretty simple life. It's eat, sleep, deliver pizza, video games. But if we do want to get hard and heavy, I guess it's dealing with being happy.
What do you mean?
Well, if you take the state of the world now, you'll be happy one day and then something just happens with all the hatred and violence and stuff going on. And then you got all the stuff that's going on. It's just crazy. Dealing with the whole pandemic thing. As a pizza delivery driver, you really see how depressed people are. And it's interesting. That's just general happiness, not being depressed, being single at 34, that can hit you sometimes. But I typically, I'm a silly guy, so I try to stay happy, make people laugh at work, and, it makes me happy. So,
yeah, that was another thing that when it covers, you're a very humorous person, very silly, and you're a huge fan of Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah.
Like one of your idols.
Yeah, he is the reason for my goofiness. So.
Yeah. So, like, what the general, would you say you have more unhappy days or more happy days, or is it kind of a split 50 all?
People make fun of me for being 34 and still playing video games, but that really keeps my
That's ridiculous.
You're 34 years old. You're a grown man. You shouldn't be playing stuff for kids.
Those people sound like idiots. Like this is there's so many people that do that. I know you're not the only person that I know that's old. I know a 50-year-old guy that gets on and plays Call of Duty and all that other stuff. So,
yep,
that's ridiculous.
I would say generally more happy because I like to work a lot and keep my mind occupied. So, but when I'm at home, I like to, I'm trying to read a little more, and then also, just jump on some video games to try to keep my mind just at a distance. Keep the crazy away. Yeah,
I know. I had someone on here too once talk about how music was so important to them that they felt like if it wasn't, kind of like what you said earlier, like if not to be weird, but like if you didn't have music, then you might not be here. Well, this gentleman was also saying the same thing. He's just talking about how, like, he didn't know what he would want to live for. Not that he would like off himself or something, but he's just saying what would there be for him to live for if there wasn't for music and stuff like that? Because apparently he wrestles with some pretty deep-seated things as well.
Yeah, I mean, I lost my parents, both very, they were both considered very young. Dad was a little older. He was 52, and I was 25. And then mom died when she was 38.
Yeah.
That's only 4 years older than me now. That's scary.
That is very scary.
And I was 20. So, I lost both parents at a very young age. I had to grow up quick.
Yeah, that was really tough.
Yeah.
I remember having to deal with that. That was super duper duper tough. And it was it came off of just because Ivy's dad passed away a couple of years before that, or maybe a year before that, something like that. It was very close proximity. Wait, no, Sherry passed away in 2007, right?
Mhm.
No, so actually it wasn't years before. Ivy's dad passed away months before your mother passed away, because she passed away like in the fall, right?
November.
Yeah. Okay. And then our other friend Ivy, he's a childhood friend of mine and Matt's. His dad passed away several months before that, and I remember that just being super hard.
Yeah.
Because he was like a surrogate, like kind of dad for me and the other friends in our group, and then your mom was like my friend, and she was kind of like a pseudo mom to me as well, and,
Right.
or a big sister, you know. And we had that relationship, and it was out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
it was, yeah, dude, it was really tough. And that's when you moved away and moved back to like Coleman and stuff. It's pretty sad.
Yep.
But
I had to grow up fast, you know. So.
what are some of the things that you used through the years to try to get you through that?
Music, man.
Just music,
Literally. There is nothing like being in a very sad emotional state, just picking up a guitar and start playing.
Yeah.
If you
I guess
know
I can
how to
relate.
like, there's certain chord progressions that you can play that give a very somber, a very emotional vibe.
Yeah.
And when you play those, it just, people say you sing the blues away. And that's a thing, man.
Yeah.
That's seriously a thing.
How do you feel about your direction in life now opposed to where you were like 10 years ago or 15 years ago? Like what does that look like? Do you feel like you are where you would like to be, or where, like 15 years ago, where did you picture yourself? And then are you there? Are you not there? What do you take away from that?
Well, we can take a trip back to 2008, 2009. I was in a band, and we were actually playing some fairly decently big shows. We played in front of 5,000 people one time, and that was a rush, man.
Were you opening for some big act?
No, this was actually the Battle of the Bands for the main stage.
Nice.
The winner of the Battle of the Bands was going to be the opening act for the main stage, which was 42,000 people.
Jeez Louise.
And we got second place.
Oh.
Do you know how depressing that was?
Yeah, man.
No, but that was awesome. And I can see how like the rock star mentality is very cocky because people cheering for something you created, you know?
Yeah.
It just goes straight to your head.
Yeah. All that energy. Like that energy they're giving you, just like pushing you up into the clouds. I get it.
I was kind of hoping that we were going to make something out of it. Things happened in the band and we went separate ways. And then I just kind of started doing the one-man band, as they call it, thing on my own. And recently started putting songs on Spotify. I've got 3 on there now. And later tonight, we're supposed to work on song number 4. So
yeah,
for Spotify, the same with the same band with Cheyenne.
Yeah. So now I guess you're kind of like putting most of your talents and energies into just trying to creating your own thing just by yourself now.
Yeah, because I don't want to deliver pizza for the rest of my life. If I can make something out of my music, I don't necessarily want a record label. I don't need a record deal. I would just love to play music and make money off of it.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't want millions. But if I can make like a sustainable living, that would be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing what you love. You never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
So what is the closing our eyes and going into some imaginary world, or maybe not imaginary, a hypothetical world? That's better, right? Because it's within the realm of possibility. Anything you can imagine can happen within reason, within reality. So what does it look like? What world? You go to sleep tonight, you wake up tomorrow. What world do you want to wake up in? What is that world? What does your perfect world look like? Or maybe not your perfect world, but you're like, oh, this is a life that I can, this is excellent. This is what I want. What world does that look like? What do you open your eyes to?
A family.
Okay.
And, because jealousy is really a big thing with me. And I know that's an awful thing for guys to have.
What do you mean by jealousy?
Seeing, family and friends all married and having kids and stuff like that. That just really gets to you sometimes. But then I would like to have like a little, I don't want to say a hut, but like maybe a small garage out back with a little studio in it, record some bands. And I would love that. Like being a studio engineer would just be awesome. Like have bands come over and record for you,
and like that's what you do as like a profession.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be really awesome.
Sounds like a great future, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like you just keep doing what you're doing and you got a good shot at it.
I'm trying.
Just gotta keep on keeping on. If you were still doing something with pizza, that hut could be a Pizza Hut. He's always the one doing the puns, so I had to like give him some crap on the show. He's always doing some kind of pun or something about something like that.
people don't want to see my craziness, or I guess not craziness, but silliness.
If there's somebody out there that's listening to this that they relate to a lot of the things you say, maybe they feel, they're kind of, they fight with their own happiness and they wrestle with wanting to be more happy and they do things and maybe they like, oh, I'm this age and I don't have my dream job, or I'm not married, or I don't have kids, or I don't blah, blah, blah. I don't have $100,000 in the bank, or whatever it is. But they're following some dream, and even if it's obscure and other people laughing at them because they're 45 years old and they play video games, or they're trying to be
I'm not that old yet.
A cartoonist or something. No, I'm saying that in general.
Right.
What would you say to that person who's listening to that? And they're like, hey, man, no, you're saying this is me too, dude. Obviously, you can't hear them saying that, but they're listening to it, they're watching this. What would you say to them right now then?
So a friend of mine, you know him, Bruce,
Okay,
that hangs out with the Elliots and all our taco night group.
Yeah.
He told me it's the decisions you make. That's all he said, and I was like, whoa.
It's the decisions you make.
Yeah, that can make your future, ruin your future, and you're not alone, man, woman, girl, non-binary. You're not alone, and just remember, it's the decisions you make. Make them good. Try to make them good. I know we all make stupid decisions, but
yeah,
that really hit me when he said that. He was like, "I want to tell you something. It's the decisions you make." Holy wow! Okay,
yeah, and it's also about growth, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just not being in the same space that you were before. Even if that space is 1 inch ahead of the space you were before, it doesn't matter. At least you moved. But if you're still just standing in that one space, then that is terrible. And it's just poison to you.
some people are stuck because they don't want to break out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
I had to do that. I'm a very silly guy. Some people are very off-put by silliness. So sometimes you got to reel it back, read the room, make sure people are going to understand you if you break out in maniacal laughter.
Let me get you to promote your stuff, your social media,
Yeah.
your music, all that stuff. Go ahead, plug in.
So I have a YouTube. I used to do the whole gaming YouTube thing. I'm more of putting music on there. I still do some live streams and stuff on there, but that's the Zombie Geek YouTube. It's spelled with an X, so XOMBIEGEEK, Zombie Geek. And then go follow us on Spotify. That's O Nightingale, like the bird Nightingale. It's OH, Nightingale. That's where I'm going to be putting all my music. So
Nice.
and if Cheyenne will stick with me, then it'd be me and her on there. So
Yeah.
I feel like we mesh pretty well. So
Yeah. She's great. She needs to. Well, she is doing a lot of stuff musically, but this is definitely a really. She really loves doing this project with you as well. So
yeah, but you can find me at Zombie Geek everywhere, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, wherever. All of the meteors.
yeah, check him out. Check out his music. It's really cool stuff. It's good
Yeah.
stuff. Support his music. Support what he's doing. Help him pay his bills. Start a GoFundMe. I don't know. Do whatever. Thanks for being on the show, bro.
No problem.
Brother. High five. One thing I wanted to say to you, man, when your mom was, she's still with us, she told me, and I think I've probably told you this multiple times through the years, but she said, she was like, I think it was actually me and her were having a conversation because she was pissed at you. You did something that made her mad, and then you were off somewhere.
usual.
Oh, she sent you to the store or something. Me and her were just talking, and she was like, oh, and I was like, oh, she was like, yeah, sometimes that boy, I just want to punch him right in the face. And I was like, oh, he's just trying to find his place right now. She's like, I can't ever get him to, I try to get him to do stuff, Mitch, I just don't know. But he's into his music. She was like, I was like, yeah, and he's really good. She was like, he is. And she was like, I honest to God believe in my heart, like as much as I'm sitting here talking to you right now, that boy, if he does nothing else, he's lazy, he doesn't want to go hiking with his mom or whatever, he is going to do something with music. I know it. She was like, I see it. I prayed about it, and I felt like I got a vision of it. Like he's going to do something in his life with music, and that's going to be his life, and that's what takes care of him and sends him on through the rest of his life. And she stood behind that, and she believed it.
She used to lay down on the couch. My computer and guitar and stuff was all in the living room when I was living with her, and she used to lay down on the couch and be like, "Play me something."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'd play something, and like 6 minutes later, I looked over, she'd just snoring. She like passed out. Like, wow, is it that boring? She's like, no, I just like hearing you play.
That's beautiful, man. That's really beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching or listening to another episode of the podcast show for the average Joe, the Wrestling Diaries. It's about people wrestling with things in life. What are ordinary people, extraordinary ideas, and the art of struggle. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Forget about it. That was a bad accent. Check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Pocket Casts, YouTube. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content. Tell people about us. Like, we're growing something here. You can either be a part of it or no, you'll be a part of it. I'm telling you, you're going to be a part of it, whether you like it or not. Good old friend, really good guy. Terence is doing a lot of music, a lot of crap with his life. Check him out. Show him some support. And also, what does music mean to you? How powerful is it? I've had a lot of musical guests on here because I obviously have a lot of friends that do music, and music is a big thing for me and for Matt. So we'll have a lot of guests on here that are musically inclined. Do you have the synesthesia? When you close your eyes, you see colors and stuff? What does it sound like? Who knows? Let us know. What do you wrestle with, and how can you beat it? One love.